What's up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 13 of the You Might Be Surprised podcast. It's a comedy podcast where I'm your host, Chris, and I just talk about whatever is going on in my life and whatever I find funny, man. Sit back, welcome back. It's episode 13. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Start the podcast off the same way every single time because I don't know what way to start it off because I'm a noob. I don't even know if noob's the right word. I'm just learning. That's what I'm doing. I'm learning. And you guys are on for the ride. You know? Actually, this isn't even the ride yet. We're still like if I did describe this podcast, it'd be like waiting at Six Flags and you like just got in line and you know that this hour and a half wait is about to be the best thing you've ever done in your life. That's what this podcast is. This podcast is waiting in line for a roller coaster, knowing that when you're about to go on the roller coaster, you're getting up there and you're just it's ha ha. Dude, I can't talk. This podcast, okay, is like waiting in line for a roller coaster. Okay, right now we just got in line. It's episode 13. We've been in line for 13 minutes, dude. Okay, and you see to the left, it's like, ooh, an hour wait. You turn to your friend Joe. Hey man, do we wait this out? Joe's like, dude, this is the best thing at this park. And you're like, you know what? You right. And you wait it out. That's what this podcast is. This podcast is waiting because you know in an hour that this podcast is about to be legit. And when you finally get strapped into that roller coaster and you're heading up to the top and you're getting to the climax of the roller coaster and you're about to drop down, you know you made the right choice. You know. And guess what? It's the best thing you done. So sit back, relax. You got 60 minutes with me, or however long it takes till this podcast is good. So, man, how's everyone doing? How is everyone doing, dude? That's something I want to talk about. If you ever want to become a podcaster, it's not just talking in front of a mic. That's like the glamorous side of things. That's like the press conferences you see of Elon Musk showing off his car. You see that and you're like, dang, I really want to do what he does. But actually, what you didn't know is that he spent 20 years of countless 20 plus hour days, only sleeping 4 hours a day, and just putting in that work until something finally clicked and his brain started going crazy. Or Kanye, even though Kanye's being dumb right now. Kanye, I'm sure that dude spent countless of hours putting in his soul and body into all of his albums. And all we see is the hour version of his work. And we get to see him partying and doing all that type of stuff. But what you don't see is him writing lyrics, uh, going back and forth with things. That's what a podcaster is. A podcasting, 1% of it is sitting down in front of this camera and pressing record and sitting down in front of the mic and hitting record and talking. The other 99% of it is marketing, okay, and writing. I suck at writing. I was never good at writing ever. And I suck at spelling, dude. There's this one time, dude, that when I was younger, my mom would make me spell out words so I could practice them for my spelling test that I had. And I remember I was just, dude, I sucked at spelling. If spell check was not a thing, dude, I would be SOL. I would be out a job. Okay. So I remember when I was like, dude, I had to be young and I was getting ready for this test, right? And I was spelling out these words and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. So for some reason, I thought it was a good idea to put E's on the end of every word. And then I'd show it to my mom and be like, look, you spelled it wrong, not me. And she caught on and it was just wasn't a good idea. But dude, I hate spelling. I just, I don't know if I hate writing. I'm not good at it yet. Being a podcaster and doing stuff online is all about writing. And then it's like 95% writing. Hold on. 75%, 50% writing, 25% personality, 20% marketing, 5% in front of the camera and in front of the mic, dude. And I am just trying to figure out things. You know, it's very it's very hard when you're starting something. I've talked about this before, but like I see why people fail at their dreams all the time is because they get to this point and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. You know? They're like, I don't know if this is even going to work. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm just trying to keep pushing, dude. You know? Like I said, we just got to the beginning of the roller coaster. We're standing in line. You don't see the light until you're like 5 minutes away. And you hear the guy doing funny jokes before you get on the ride, dude. We're just starting. And that's the hardest part. Also, um, yeah, it's just I need to do some sort of writing activity. Dude, I wish I had a mic on me when I was showering. That could be weird, I know. Who wouldn't want to see me in the shower? But my thoughts in the shower are the most amazing thoughts I've ever had, and they're there for a good 5 seconds and then they're gone. I've came up with so many 5 minute sets for stand-up comedy in my head in the shower, and then I can't remember them. Or I wish I had a mic when I was driving. I should literally just make a podcast that literally just gets tossed up to audio only of me just recording in my car. Honestly, I should do that. That's a great idea. Good thing I'm recording because I would forget this. Dude, my thoughts when I'm in showering or when I'm in the car are Grammy worthy thoughts. I don't even know if Grammy is the right word. They are award winning thoughts. I would be famous by now if I started this podcast 3 years ago and then with these thoughts, which reminds me, I want to share a quote. They're not a quote. I don't. I honestly could care less about this quote, but it reminded me of this quote. I don't know who said it, but it's like the best time to plant a tree was 3 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is now, and that's just pretty much just like what it's saying. Let me get my glasses on. What it's saying, dude. What it's saying, glasses on, nerd engage. What it's saying is, you know, you could look back and say that the best time to plant a tree or the best time to start something that you've always wanted started was 3 years ago. With all that experience now, you'd be rolling in the dough and with the girls. But the second best time is to start now. And if you start it now and you keep going, the tree's gonna blossom, dude. It's another example. This podcast, I just planted the seed, dude, 14 weeks ago. And you know, we still haven't seen any sort of sign of life, but we're getting there. We know. Okay, we know. I'm not going to tell you what we know, but we know. Makes sense? Okay. But I've been trying to figure out. So like talented people, right? Or like some talented, or just I don't even know what the right word is. Some geniuses, I could say, or like creative geniuses. Um, they have like a writing process. Okay, I don't have a writing process. Mm, my writing process is so just like okay, 30 minutes. This is all I got. And within that 30 minutes, dude, I can go from writing a couple sentences to like then thinking about politics to then watching those like stupid satisfying videos on freaking Instagram. That's the bad thing too with like is just like I'm addicted to my phone. I literally have my social media apps on my phone in a folder named cocaine because I'm addicted. It's bad, dude. And I'm honestly not spending as much time on my phone as I could be, but that's just because I work 9 hours a day. So if I wasn't doing that, like during Corona, dude, I was pulling like double shifts. I was working 8 hours and then also doing like 8 hours on my phone. And I just get into these grooves where I just sit in my bed and start watching videos, man. And it just all of a sudden it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Next thing you know, it's 8, and I haven't left my bed. So there's that. But yeah, so these creative geniuses have like um, this writing ritual or just things they do before they write. And one of the greatest is Hunter S. Thompson, and I need to read some of his books. I need to get some of his books because if you don't know who Hunter S. Thompson is, I don't actually really know exactly, but I know that he's like this really great writer. Um, Let me just search him up before I want to go into what I want to talk about. Hunter S. Thompson. Um, he was an American journalist and author and founder of the Gonzo journalism movement. Anyways, this dude, and I think I know Joe Rogan talked about this, but I think this was just for show, but also it wouldn't surprise me. So this is his this is just what he did throughout the day before he would even write, okay? So he would wake up at 3 p.m. 3:05 is Chivas Chivas Regal with the morning paper. Pretty sure that's an alcoholic drink. At 3:45 he would do cocaine. At 3:50 he would have another glass of Chivas. At 4:05 first cup of coffee and Dunhill. I think Dunhill's a cigarette. 4:15 cocaine, 4:16 orange juice and Dunhill, 4:30 cocaine, 4:54 cocaine, 5:05 cocaine, 5:11 coffee and Dunhills. 5:30 more ice in the Chivas, 5:45 cocaine. 6 p.m. grass, aka weed, 7:05 Woody Creek Tavern. For lunch, he would normally have a Heineken, 2 margaritas, 2 cheeseburgers, 2 orders of fries, a plate of tomatoes, coleslaw, a taco salad, a double order of onion rings, carrot cake, ice cream, bean fritter, Dunhills, another Heineken, cocaine, and for a ride home, a snow cone, a glass of shredded ice, over which is poured 3/4 jiggers of Chiva. Okay. So, um, 9 p.m. he would do cocaine. 10 p.m. drops acid. Okay. 11 p.m. is uh ch- chartreuse, chartreuse, chartreuse. I'm not sure what that is. Cocaine and grass. And then at 11:30, cocaine. Okay. And you know how I said this dude was a writer? He wouldn't write until midnight. So he would write from 12 to 6 a.m. And he would just drink, do cocaine, and pretty much by 8:30 a.m. the dude's sleeping. So I'm not saying that it takes that to become a genius, but I'm just saying that everyone has their thing. And I don't know what my routine is for writing. I don't know if I write better in the morning or I don't know if I write better at night. All I know is I write when I get done from work and I'm mentally drained. Actually, I write when I'm done from work and the gym. So I'm just mentally drained and I just want to chill out for the night. That's the hardest part for me because I have to film these podcasts so late at night. So maybe that's just something I need to switch. But the thing is like I've talked about this before. I'm young, 23, still live with my mom and dad. Embarrassing. And so like I have to record these at night because it's the only time it's quiet. Okay. And then I work. I work a day job, dude. So I need to find something. Okay. I need to find something that works for me. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Before the world freaking burns itself down. The world's a scary place right now. And I like that's also something that I've been freaking myself on. It's just like I thought Corona was gone. Okay. It's not. It's actually getting worse. And just like crazy things are happening throughout the world. Did you see the this happened, dude? This happened, dude. Tell me tell me this happened if this happened and the world wasn't in if the world wasn't a shit show right now, it would just be kind of weird. But this happened when the world's about to die and just it's this girl's at Walmart, right? Or wherever she's at. And there's like 1,000 crows just flying through the air. And this is what you would see before a big explosion happens. And then you don't know what happens next because you die. Just look at this. Dude, that's terrifying. That's terrifying, dude. Oh my gosh. Terrifying. Dude, there's so many. There's so many. Imagine seeing this, dude. That like if I saw that, I would be like, okay, okay, this is my last day on Earth, because it doesn't get better. That's the most scariest thing I've ever seen. I'm getting chills just thinking about it, dude. I'm getting chills just thinking about that. Imagine, dude. That's some Harry Potter type shit right there. You know? Oh, dude, the world, dude, the world. The world. Supposedly Corona, if I can remember right, don't quote me because I'm an idiot. I was listening to a new podcast and supposedly there's new symptoms of Corona that are making you see things. Um, Let me just search that up. Corona makes you see things. Okay, let's just make sure. Yes. So, um, Corona makes you see things. New study. Um, I can't find it, but suppose it was this girl who had all the symptoms of corona and then just went batshit crazy and started seeing birds and stuff like flying at her, and she literally went. I don't know if she went insane, but I can't find the actual link. But yeah, dude, scary. That's uh that's one thing that I've been noticing that I've been doing more since lockup or since quarantine is like I never really paid attention to the news, right? But now that I'm paying more attention to it and actually using Twitter as a news source, which is you take that, I mean, just take that statement as like you don't. What I'm saying is I'm dumb, okay? But um, taking in that much news and thinking about the world is kind of horrible for you because then all you're thinking about is that and how the world's just gonna end when in reality it's probably better to like think more about your community and stuff because if you're doing that at least you can help change it, you know. So anyways, one thing I wanted to talk about is i'm I'm gonna start a new segment or I'm gonna start a brand new podcast. As some of you guys may know, I have a stutter that doesn't rarely show up on the show. Um, it's happened, and maybe you guys have heard it, but it's something that I have a lot of knowledge about, and I feel like I can give some good advice and some funny stories too. Of just my life and dealing with a stutter. And I think it'd be a good way to connect with the audience if you have a speech impediment and just know that um, chasing your dreams and stuff can be hard, but if you just do it and pursue it, you might be surprised what happens. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Um, but yeah, man, I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna start trying to collaborate more with people. And to be honest, doing this podcast, I was just reflecting back on this podcast. It's been 12, well, technically it's been 13 weeks, 14 weeks. Um, and doing this podcast is the one thing that I've done consistently and like a lot in my whole life. And it truly keeps me motivated. And I like it because there's always something that I can improve on. So, like I said, man, this podcast is like waiting for a roller coaster. And we just got in line, dude. We just got in line. There's more to come, you know? Just know that you're in line for the best thing ever. And if you guys like these podcasts, let me know, man. Tweet at me. Tweet at me, please. I want friends. Let's connect. If you follow me because of this podcast, I will 1000% follow you back on any social media. Well, I only have Instagram and Twitter, but you know what I mean. I Let's be friends. Let's talk. You could be a guest on my podcast. Okay? I'm serious. So please, if you're listening to this on audio, download and share and leave a review. Those actually matter. The more reviews that are on a podcast, the more that it shows up. And I'm just trying to get people to laugh and try stuff new because you might be surprised what happens. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, share it with your friends. Um, like, comment, subscribe, man. Doing this means the world to me. And the fact that I've gotten so comfortable to being from the mic and I'm starting to get a writing process down, I might need to do a drunk writing um podcast where I just get hammered and write for like 2 hours and then I'll try to talk about it. And then maybe I'll write sober and get drunk and do a podcast like that. You know, ideas. Ideas, man. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I've been Chris. You've been beautiful. Stay amazing, man. Thank you so much for listening. Yurt.